In the heart of a bustling city, nestled within a modern, high-rise condominium complex, lay Unit 404. It was a place like any other, but it harbored a sinister secret that had tormented its residents for years. The haunting had gone unnoticed by most, but for the few unfortunate souls who dared to stay within its walls, it was a nightmare they could never escape. Sarah had recently moved to the city, eager for a fresh start. She was a young woman with dreams of a successful career, and the prospect of living in a modern condo in the heart of the city seemed like the perfect beginning. Unit 404 appeared to be just what she needed, and its rent was surprisingly affordable, considering its prime location. The moment Sarah stepped through the front door, a chill ran down her spine. The atmosphere in the condo felt oppressive, as if unseen eyes were watching her every move. She brushed off the unease, attributing it to the unfamiliarity of her new surroundings. But as the days passed, her unease only deepened. Strange occurrences began to unfold. Sarah would hear faint whispers in the dead of night, their origin impossible to locate. Items would go missing, only to reappear in unusual places. The lights flickered, and shadows danced on the walls, casting eerie shapes that defied explanation. But the most unsettling of all were the nightmares that plagued her, vivid and horrifying, each one more disturbing than the last. As Sarah delved into the history of Unit 404, she discovered a dark past hidden beneath its sleek exterior. A young girl had once lived in that very unit, a child named Emily who had met a tragic end. Emily's parents had been absent, neglecting her needs, leaving her lonely and desperate for attention. They say she drowned in the bathtub under mysterious circumstances, but rumors circulated that the true cause was far more sinister. Sarah decided to confide in her neighbor, an elderly woman named Mrs. Jenkins, who had lived in the building for decades. The wrinkles on Mrs. Jenkins's face deepened as she heard Sarah's tale. She had known Emily, remembered her as a quiet and frightened child, with eyes that betrayed the torment she endured. Mrs. Jenkins began to recount stories from her own past, of strange occurrences in Unit 404 that had plagued the condo complex for years. Emily's restless spirit seemed to linger, seeking retribution for the horrors she had suffered. Mrs. Jenkins revealed that several tenants had moved out in fear, unable to withstand the sinister presence that inhabited the unit. Determined to unravel the mystery and help Emily find peace, Sarah started digging deeper into the girl's tragic history. She visited the local library and uncovered old newspaper articles that detailed the shocking abuse Emily had endured at the hands of her parents. The guilt and sorrow that had accompanied her death seemed to have left an indelible mark on the place. Sarah decided to conduct a seance in the condo, enlisting the help of a psychic she found online. The psychic, Madame Lorraine, arrived at Unit 404 one ominous evening, armed with candles, incense, and a crystal ball. The room grew heavy with an otherworldly presence as the seance began. Madame Lorraine's eyes rolled back as she made contact with the spirit world. Sarah held her breath, her heart pounding. Emily's ghost manifested, her pallid form flickering in the dim candlelight. The room grew frigid as the apparition gazed at Sarah with hollow, accusing eyes. Tears welled up in Sarah's eyes as she spoke softly, apologizing on behalf of the world for the suffering Emily had endured. She vowed to help her find the peace she deserved, to ensure her story was told, and her tormentors brought to justice. The ghostly presence seemed to waver, its anger slowly fading. Emily's figure began to dissipate, and a sense of calm descended upon the room. Madame Lorraine brought the seance to an end, closing the connection to the spirit world. In the days that followed, Unit 404 transformed. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the nightmare ceased. The lights remained steady, and the whispers faded into silence. Emily's spirit had found solace, knowing that someone had finally acknowledged her pain and sought to bring her justice. Sarah became an advocate for the memory of Emily, working with local authorities to uncover the truth behind her tragic end. Emily's parents, now elderly and living in hiding, were apprehended and brought to trial. The story of Emily's suffering and the haunting of Unit 404 made headlines, prompting a renewed interest in child abuse and neglect. Unit 404 remained a place of quiet tranquility, free from the ghostly torment that had plagued it for so long. Sarah moved forward with her life, knowing that she had played a part in bringing closure to a tormented soul.